To all of you, and to you, my friend, to your family from Kentucky all the way to New Jersey.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you too, Jim, and it's a lot of fun to be here. Growing up, like you, me, you watch these games on Thanksgiving Day, and what do you do at halftime? You go out and you throw the football around a little. So to be here to talk about this game today, I'm really honored.
You know, Tony Romo, the Cowboys quarterback, kind of plays the game that way. Like he's just out in the backyard throwing the football around a little bit. What about the way Romo's been playing?
Well, you're allowed to have a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of fun when you're playing really well and you play for a good football team. He has been excellent this year. I think the surprise of a lot of people, he's one of the better throwers in the NFL, and he is the main reason why the Cowboys are 9-1.
And last week you had a chance to see Kellen Clemens, the Jets quarterback, direct his team to a win, a surprise win over Pittsburgh. What about the way he's playing?
Well, you got to be happy if you're a Jet fan of the Jet coaches. He leads a late comeback in the fourth quarter to tie the game and then leads you to victory in the overtime. He showed a lot of spirit. He shows talent. He can throw the football down the field. The Jet coaches and players are excited about Kellen Clemens.
All right, now what we've been waiting for, the Nike game points for this one. Phil, take us through them.
Well, a couple key points you want to look for in today's game. Holiday confidence. The Jets feel good, especially after their victory last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dallas, home team alert. You're home. It's a holiday. You're playing a 2-8 team. Don't let down. And for the fans at home, be a pro. Pace yourself so you can eat all day long and enjoy football.
Some good advice there. All right. Thank you, Phil. Experience the NFL on CBS, brought to you in high definition by Sony. Cowboys and Jets. The kick is next on CBS.
In this Thanksgiving Day game, and Jim, every coach, every player excited. National stage, they know all their peers are watching. The players, they love it.
Well, the Jets will be kicking, coming off that win over Pittsburgh in overtime, snapping a 6-game losing streak, surprising the Steelers. Meanwhile, Dallas is 9-1. This matches their all-time best record through 10 games. It's happened 2 other occasions, yet they have never gotten it to 10-1, which they'll attempt to do today. Miles Austin and Nathan Jones, you saw them deep. It'll come to Austin. And Austin getting the edge out across the 30 and near the 35. Excellent run back to get it started for Tony Romo. He is 15-5 as Tony through his first 20 career starts. Look at this, 27 touchdowns on the season, on pace for 43. His line sets up like this. Watch the center snap out of the gun today. There were some issues there last week. Owens on one side, Hurd on the other. Creighton is out with an ankle. Julius Jones will start in the backfield, and his brother Thomas gets the start running back for the Jets. They met just a couple of years ago here on Thanksgiving Day when Thomas was a member of the Bears. So from the 37, they get it going with the pass play, and Romo with pressure, able to avoid it, and scoots across the 40. The Jets defense had 7 sacks last week, and they almost opened this game with 1. Ellis had 2 sacks of his own, 2.5 to Robertson. That front last week had 6 total. An emerging star for them is number 52, David Harris, the rookie out of Michigan. And Kerry Rhodes says, we just can't take any of their blows early. We'll be down big. We've got to come out fighting. There's Eric Mangini in his second year as the head coach. And a quick jump by the Cowboys will back them up. Flozell Adams. Bill Carolla and his crew on hand getting this Thanksgiving assignment.
False start, 76, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
All right, this Cowboys team, the second highest scoring team in the league, and here's a little philosophy when Dallas has the ball.
Well, let's look at this Dallas offense. It's all about Tony Romo. They call the plays. Everything they do is to keep him in rhythm and keep him being a dynamic quarterback. For the Jets defense, prepare for lengthy plays, and what that means last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger, when you got a mobile quarterback, you've got to stay with your receivers down the field. Don't leave them to come up and try to tackle the quarterback. That's when you give up the big plays.
You saw Wade Phillips, the Texas-born coach. What a sensational first year for Wade. And the Cowboys on second down and 11. See Julius Jones get stacked up, running right into Kenyon Coleman. No gain. Well, this Jets defense just a week ago coming off of a bye, stepped up and put up its best performance of the season against the Steelers.
You know, they did, Jim, and they did it against an offense that had been running the football well and throwing it in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Today, they face a Dallas Cowboys offense. If you watch them on TV, you can see it. Look how big they are. The Jets defense a little undersized. Can they hang in there and fight it out all day long?
It's a 3rd and 9, and the Jets had a little reinforcement into the secondary, though they show blitz. They've got 6 DBs in the game. And that's to Hurd. Hurd has the first down to the 40. That's actually Miles Austin. Miles Austin, is they going to today, with Creighton out of the game, you'll see a lot of Hurd. And Austin now steps up a spot also, picks up 17 on his first catch of the season.
Something the Cowboys do very well. They did it last week against the Washington Redskins. You try to pressure the quarterback, Tony Romo will get rid of the football fast. He is a very good underneath thrower. Miles Austin, even though Patrick Creighton is out, the speed, you saw it then.
Out of Monmouth University near the Jersey Shore is Miles Austin. Now Romo will go right side to Owens, and Rivas runs him out. So what do you think their strategy is on T.O. after he caught 4 touchdowns just 4 days ago against Washington?
Well, Eric Mangini, as he told us last night, you have to put your focus on Jason Witten and Terrell Owens. Hard to do it because the Dallas Cowboys this year, Jason Garrett, the offensive coordinator, they line him up everywhere. They put him in motion, so it's hard to double team him.
Pass to T.O. goes for 6 at 2nd and 4. Inside the 40, and taken off is Julius Jones. And then finally Rhodes and Rivas give him the double whammy, but not until the Cowboys advance at another 19.
Well, the Cowboys left side of their offensive line, Flozell Adams and Kyle Kozar, they do a good job. Again, their size, they made contact with the Jets defenders. No Jet defender could get off the block. And then Julius Jones, fast, shifty. We talked to him. He wants a big game here. Of course, you want it every week, but he really wants to play well against his brother on the other sideline.
And with all the family up in the stands. So on first down, it's Romo. Again, an open receiver. It's Owens. Boy, he has created some separation on those 2 passes to the right side of T.O. This goes for 13.
When you watch this Dallas offense play, even when they have good running plays, don't think they're going to go and run it again, because Jason Garrett called those plays. I said it. The offense is built around Tony Romo. They're going to keep him in rhythm. They keep him as the central figure of the offense. And, hey, if he misses a couple, there's only one way to complete one. Throw it again.
You can see they had quite a stretch there of 22 games, only 1 opening drive touchdown. But in recent weeks, it's been gold. And on first and goal, it is Julius Jones picking up just a yard.
And you know, too, Jim, as you look at this Cowboy offense and you see Terrell Owens catching a couple passes early, such a controversial guy around the country, and you talked about all the time on TV, but when you come down here, you talk to all the players and coaches, the one thing you cannot complain about, they say he practices harder than anybody in the team. We were there on Tuesday, and he was full speed when everybody else was going half speed.
They bring in Marion Barber into the backfield. 2nd and goal from the 7. T.O. comes into the backfield. It's Barber, left side, and in for a touchdown.
Well, that was an overpowering drive, and you say, well, Terrell Owens in the backfield, what's the big deal? It's just a little diversion for the defense. They go, wait, that's something different. He's back. He's different. He's back there. And what do? They hand it out off to the power back, Marion Barber, and they run it right at you.
It definitely got their attention. Barber virtually untouched.
Deception. I say deception when you get inside the 10-yard line. Most of the time, that's what you need to get easy touchdowns.
Nick Folk out for the extra point try. Brad Johnson on hold. Bradshaw snaps it back, and the Cowboys cover 63 yards in 8 plays. And Barber gets the touchdown. Julius Jones with some hard running to set it up. And Dallas was a slow starting first quarter team, the first 6 games of the season, didn't have a touchdown through those first 6 in the opening quarter. But that's changed here in the last 4 weeks. 5 touchdowns over the last 4. Kick coming to Leon Washington, who has 3 runbacks on the year, and he fumbles the football and right into the arms of the Cowboys. Courtney Brown with the recovery.
So much for the holiday hangover for the Dallas Cowboys. Tremendous first drive. Then when you get hustle, and I couldn't tell, somebody reaches up, grabs the football and pulls it away from Leon Washington.
Kevin Burnett was the one who stripped it.
Really puts the pressure on the Jet defense here early.
Courtney Brown with the recovery. And the Cowboys, who just ran roughshod through the Jets defense, is right back onto the field again. Set up at the New York 35. Fake to Barber and Romo. A little shoulder fake and a launch toward the end zone. He is picked off. That is Kerry Rhodes. And he will bring it out. Somehow able to pick up an extra 3 from a little bit of touchback. He may have been a little confused whether or not he was outside in the field of play and wanted to be sure. Rhodes had a pick last week. He's got another one here in the first quarter. Jets cough it up on the kickoff. Cowboy recovery. First play, Rhodes regains possession for the Jets and their offense on the field for the first time. Leon Washington lined up wide to the right as Clemens goes down the field, and Baker with a beautiful fingertip grab. What control. Picks up 22 yards.
So many teams want to come out and throw a little quick pass. Watch Baker, top of your screen. Makes a little move that's just enough. Every team in the NFL runs that play. Brady James overreacts, and what a play by Chris Baker down the field.
So first down from the 44. Thomas Jones twisting around for a couple. Well, Kellen Clemens connects on his first throw of the game, and he had his first win as a starter just last week. This is career start number 4 for the second-year man from Oregon. His line has been opening some holes in recent weeks. The ground game is starting to get in a groove, though they can't get the rush touchdown. Maybe that'll change today. Contry on one side, Brad Smith on the other, as Lavernius Coles is inactive with an ankle sprain. Justin McCarron enters the game for the Jets. 81 is another receiver. Second down and 8. Clemens in danger and is decked. That is Chris Canty with the sack, his 3rd of the year.
The defense did to this offense what the Cowboys offense did to the Jets defense in the first drive. They just overpower up front. And you got a running back on Chris Canty. There is no way Thomas Jones can block a defensive lineman coming straight at him.
So Canty with the sack sets up a 3rd and 17. 6 defensive backs for Dallas. Shotgun time for the Jets, who go screen. Thomas Jones out across the 45 and short of the 1st. Patrick Watkins, Kevin Burnett, both bounce him out.
Well, as you look at this start of game, you almost have to say, Jim, good start for the New York Jets, because they are able to overcome that fumble on the kickoff and change field position. So
Ben Graham, who hails from Melbourne, Australia. Both of the punters in today's game are from Melbourne. McBriar on the Dallas side. Will boot it away to Terrence Newman. And a fair catch called at the 11. Romo and the Cowboys lead it up in the stands, many of whom have traveled from Big Stone Gap, Virginia. And that is Barber for about 3 out to the 15. Thomas Sr. and Betty Jones, there they are. They have 2 boys. They're on the field today. 5 daughters. They had their big feast last night. And Mrs. Jones made the caramel cake for Thomas. That's his favorite. And the sweet potato pie for Julius.
I asked Julius Jones, so where's the speed come from the family? And he immediately said, my mother, 100 meters, she'll tell you how good she was. So pretty unbelievable. 2 brothers, running backs in the NFL.
And that's Barber. And a good tackle by Abram Elam. Well, you consider with the 32 teams and, you know, somewhere close to maybe 3 active running backs per roster. You got 90 running backs in the league, 2 of whom come out of one family.
Yeah, it is amazing. And we've talked to both of them, Jim, and they both said sometimes they like to sit on the bench and gather their thoughts when they're not out there on the field, but not this week. They're going to stand there and watch the field and watch their brother to see how he is doing. And they both said the same thing, too. It spurs the other one on, even when they're not, of course, playing against each other.
Cowboys coming off of 2 straight runs to Marion Barber. It's 3rd and 3. That pass should have been picked off right into the arms of Revis, as Romo was attempting to hit Owens on the slant.
Well, the Jets have everybody up near the line of scrimmage, and they are playing the situation. And Darrelle Revis plays it, knows it's 3rd and short, plays it aggressive, knows that they might throw a short pass, and he had a chance for an interception.
Still 3 and out for the Cowboys, who drove it down the field on their first possession with ease. And then 1-play possession that was turned into a interception by the Jets, and now the Jets defense stands up 3 and out. Eric Smith with a little pressure on the McBriar punt that hops around on a second bounce, fielded by Washington. Taken down quickly. There is a flag. That was Patrick Watkins downfield for the first hit.
Leon Washington on the return. Patrick Watkins on the tackle flag now.
Leon Washington really set up that overtime win last week with his best punt return of the season, a 33-yard return to put the Jets in field goal range. A couple of running plays later, 3 running plays later, Mike Nugent drove it home for the win.
Illegal block in the back, number 39 during the return. 10-yard penalty. Receivers will keep the ball. First down.
5 times in this one, not quite 9 minutes into it. And the Jets start this series at the 26. Thomas Jones, and he had nowhere to run. Canty making another play. DeMarcus Ware in on a 2, a loss of 3. This Cowboys defense that is 5th in the league against the rush. You saw why. And on the edges with this linebacking group, Ellis and Ware, they have a combined 15.5 sacks on the season. And Reeves into the starting lineup for Anthony Henry, who is up and active, but does not start with an ankle sprain. It's a 2nd and 13 for New York. That pass is deflected. That is Marcus Spears jumping into the air and never giving the Jets a chance.
Well, Jim, you talk about it's hard to run against this Dallas defense and throw when you want to throw quick passes. I think that's difficult too, because they will put pressure on the receivers outside, and they're so big on the defensive front. Really, it's 5 defensive linemen in there. Both outside linebackers could be defensive linemen. So it makes it tough to throw over the top sometimes.
Ellis used to be an old defensive end, and like I said, now an outside linebacker along with DeMarcus Ware. So it's 3rd and 13, and they whistle this one dead. Flag first.
Offside. Defense. Number 94. Unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, this at least makes it certainly a little more conceivable here for the Jets. And how about a little philosophy here for New York?
Well, when the Jets have the ball, what they're really worried about is the size of both outside linebackers in case they get matched up against running backs. And for the Dallas defense, Wade Phillips says, we are a pressure defense. We're big. Get them in 3rd down situations. Our crowd noise. We should be able to make some negative plays against the New York Jets offense.
Well, the Jets went screen on the last 3rd and long situation. This is 3rd and 8. And again, Clemens sees the pocket collapse. And it's Ellis this time with the sack.
It's a blitz from the quarterback's right side. It's Roy Williams, and then Ellis goes inside. He goes against Brandon Moore. He gets the angle, and he's able just to force his way right through it. Again, I'm going to keep harping on it, but when you look at this Cowboy team, you can say a lot of things. You can say some bad stuff, but one thing you can't say is they're little.
Clemens has dropped back 5 times and been decked twice. Newman from the 40, trying to get outside and able to advance it 1 yard into Jets territory after a 37-yard punt. 7-0 Cowboys in the first. Happy Thanksgiving. We had them warehoused, the Phil Simms all-iron trophies that'll be presented at the end of the day.
I heard you laugh when that plane took off because it went straight up, and our man Andy Friedman was on it, and he gave it up.
Turned my stomach upside down just watching it. So the Cowboys from the 48. Not play action and to Witten, and that's well defended and complete. That's Abram Elam, who also made the tackle on that punt return a moment ago.
Well, Jim, let's go back and look at the interception. It's trying to get down the field. Tony Romo is nice play fake, trying to throw it deep to Terrell Owens on the outside, and look at Kerry Rhodes in the middle. He is in no man's land, but he does not run away with the fake. He stays in place. He's 6'3", jumps and just makes the interception, which really was a big play for the Jets at the time. But you've got to know where number 81 is, because they are going to try to get him the football.
2nd down and 10. Romo shakes off a hit, and then his pummel ball pops out at the end. It's a Dallas recovery. I'm not sure they didn't already rule him down anyway. Now go as a sack, the first of the game for the Jets after they had 7 last week.
I didn't hear the whistle, Jim, and it was a fumble, and the Jets had a unique plan for Ben Roethlisberger last week, and that David Bowen's on the outside. You see that? He didn't get initial penetration, so he's waiting, and the defensive lineman made Tony Romo pay for it.
C.J. Mosley, David Harris, both in on Romo, and it's a loss of 3, so 3rd and 13 coming up for the Cowboys.
Look at this defense. Everybody walking around. Sean Ellis, Eric Barton, they're the ones that put this in.
Good time for Romo this occasion, and Eric Smith almost makes the diving interception. They were heading that pass, the Cowboys were, in the direction of Sam Hurd.
But look at the players walking around. The Jet players put this play in, and Eric Mangini says we'll continue to do it as long as we make plays. That time they almost hit Tony Romo. Look at everybody standing up, and they almost intercepted the pass. So we will see this probably later in the game.
So the Cowboys have twice started a drive with a short field. They got picked, and this time it's 3 and out.
I never got to put a play in.
Not that it's still bothering me. There is a fair catch by Washington at the 12. NFL Today at 12 noon on Sunday here on CBS. From the 12, looking right, now left, and trying to find an option, and does. That's McCarron, who came up with some crucial grabs in that field goal tying trip down the field in the 4th quarter last week. That McCarron's. That goes for 11.
Well, a couple things in that drive you're talking about, Jim, and Kellen Clemens also had a big scramble, something he is not afraid to do, to pull the football down and run with it and try to throw the ball down the field as he's doing it. A lot like Tony Romo, just not quite as quick, of course, as Tony Romo.
So that goes for the first. And now they're trying to get something for Thomas Jones. Again, they just collapse on Thomas as soon as he gets the exchange. It's Ware waiting for him. To Marcus Ware.
What you hope for, since this Cowboy defense is so big, if you just keep running and you can get some first down, you hope maybe they tire out, and that's when you take advantage of it. Because right now you can see the Cowboys defensively, they are overpowering the Jets here in the first quarter.
Look at that, more than half their plays have failed to produce any plus yardage. Wallace Wright is in as an extra receiver, and straight ahead goes Clemens for 6.
How about that? Well, it's 2nd and long. Let's run a quarterback sneak.
Clemens, a couple of weeks ago against Washington, rushed for 48 yards. Had a big scramble late last week as well. So
look at the gap, and it's, of course, this is part of the game plan. He saw it. Instead of being in the shotgun, he came up, got underneath the center, and it's a good call, and it was executed well.
3rd down and 6. And because of the rush by Clemens, the Jets now have positive yards rushing here in the first quarter.
Cowboys showing the Jets, well, we'll stand up and move around too.
And they go Leon Washington, and the Cowboys defend it. Force another punt. It's Jason Hatcher on the hit.
Yeah, just nothing there. And, you know, probably a good, safe call by the New York Jets. You're Brian Schottenheimer, offensive coordinator. You cannot like what you see, so don't let the game get out of hand by trying to throw it down the field. Play it safe. Let the game settle down. Let your players get a feel for what's on defense so they can execute better.
And you may have seen it. That was Marion Barber back deep. He's not going to get a chance to handle it. Not usually their punt returner, as that one goes off the side of the foot near the 40 for.
Ineligible player on the kicking team, number 27, illegally downfield. 5-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. Receivers will keep the ball. 1st down.
Well, it went. Just a minute to go here in this first quarter in Dallas after its first drive, going down the field in 8 plays and then having a couple of other opportunities in plus territory. This could be much larger than 7-0 right now.
Yes, it could, and you got to give the Jets defense some credit, making a couple big stands, but once again under pressure near midfield.
Julius Jones, and he got the running start out to the 50 for 6. Julius telling us on Tuesday that he hopes in this game, nothing against his own defense, but he says, you know, I haven't had a 100-yard game this year. I'd like to get a 100-yard game on Thanksgiving. He had a huge game, by the way, the last time he met Thomas on Thanksgiving. Well over 100. I'd like to have my first 100, and I'd like to see my brother score his first touchdown as a Jet.
Is he getting?
I'm sure he didn't want his defense to hear that, but
he's getting Thanksgiving and Christmas confused. You can't ask for all these gifts, can you? Thanksgiving.
Well, he has a good holiday record, does Julius Jones?
Yes, he does.
It's amazing. You look at his biggest production. There he is for a first.
You know, the one thing, Jim, a lot of people say, well, the Cowboys are not running the football real well. We're the 3rd in the NFL in passing. You can't do it all. So you make sacrifices. They've built this offense really around their quarterback, and they run the football just to keep it balanced. But like I said, when in doubt, they're going to throw it. Jason Witten, Terrell Owens, and Tony Romo.
Michelle and our son CJ. From our family to yours, we want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, well, thank you for that as we begin the second quarter. And Romo stepping away from the heat. Still behind the line of scrimmage. Now able to advance it for about a yard. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms, the CBS crew on hand here with a Dallas 7-0 lead just starting the second quarter. Pretty good presence by Romo. Looked like a couple of times they were going to close in on him and take him down for a sack.
Yeah, pretty good presence, but once again, we saw it last week. The coverage down the field didn't allow him to throw it once he broke the pocket, Jim. The Jet defenders doing a good job staying with the receivers. And Terrell Owens, he came across the field. He didn't know what happened because he was laying on the ground after about 3 steps.
2nd down and 9. They go Julius Jones barreling up the middle of the field inside of the 40. And we were talking about how he has feasted come holiday time in 3 of his 4 best outings. Christmas Eve, Thanksgiving. This is the one against his brother in 2004 for 150. New Year's weekend. Give him a holiday and let him run.
Just lie to him and tell him it's Christmas tomorrow. But you can see the difference when he's in the game. He's just got that burst. He's fast. Marion Barber comes in the game. Little different type of runner. All NFL teams, it's good when you have 2 guys that have a little bit of a different look.
It's 3rd and 4 with on and off showers here in Dallas. Temperature in the high 40s. Romo to Witten. Right off his holiday greeting, Jason Witten with his first catch of the game, and it goes for 12 and the first down.
Yeah, that time everybody was looking at Tony Romo. They're playing zone, and if he tries to run for the first down, he is not going to get it. But he waits, and finally, Jason Witten, look at the work he has to do. Brian Thomas all over him.
T.O. got knocked down again. You might have seen him in frame. He's taking some licks out there.
Well, that's something Eric Mangini learned from Bill Belichick at the Patriots. When they cross the field, you're allowed inside of 5. Chuck them, knock them down.
The 27. It's Jones. And that picks up 2. Matt Chatham, the first to get to him.
But, you know, Jim, just going back to that last play, we saw Tony Romo moving in the pocket. That's what he does. And what did he tell us on Tuesday? He goes, I like the misperception that people have of me that I'm always running around outside trying to make these plays, so they guard against it. But I could just move inside the pocket and throw it down the field.
Says they're always running those highlights of me moving around, but it doesn't happen all that frequently. Here from the pocket, he throws, and he's got Witten for the touchdown. Jason Witten from Tony Romo.
This Cowboy offense, they go up the field as much as anybody in the NFL. On the outside, Jason Witten, just a little bit of a hesitation, turns it up the field, and the Jets are confused whether they're playing man coverage or zone. Nobody runs with him, wide open for the touchdown.
Only Tony Gonzalez has more catches the tight end position, and Witten has a 6th touchdown of the year. Makes it 14-0. It covers 25 yards. Romo's 28th touchdown pass of the season. 14-zip. Thanksgiving Day back in 1993, the famed Leon Lett game. Few flakes in the air, and a little pooch kick. Comes to Baker. And the Jets will get their best starting point at the 40. Yes, a Thanksgiving memory. 1993. Sleet, a little snow. Pete Stoyanovic's 41-yard field goal at the end of the game, blocked. All the players telling Leon Lett, don't touch the ball, but he does. Squirts out. Miami regains possession. Stojanovic gets another attempt. He was from Fort Worth. He's back here to his home area and boots it through for a Miami win. Not expecting quite a scene like that. Jets from the 40. And Thomas Jones coming off a 100-yard performance last week. Unable to get anything started today. That Dallas front just waiting for him every time.
Yeah, they are. And the Jets trying a couple different things. As you look at the snow come down, I don't think it's going to accumulate, but I promise you this. The quarterbacks on both sides they'd rather see snowflakes than the drizzle and the rain.
Jets have yet to run a play on the Dallas side of the field. Cowboys have had 13 snaps, conversely, in Jets territory. 2nd down and 9. A momentary slip by Thomas Jones, stiff-arming Roy Williams, and then he is walloped out of bounds by Williams and Brady James. Terrence Newman also just picks up 3.
Jim, let's go look at the touchdown. It's a blitz by the Jets. Watch each tight end as they go up the field. Sometimes you call a defense and the offense calls the perfect play against it. And if you're Tony Romo, either way you look to throw the football, it's going to be a touchdown. So again, the Dallas Cowboy offense, they're always sending somebody deep. If he's open, of course, they throw it to him.
Jets have picked up only 2 first downs in this game. 6 yards needed for a first. Clemens, jump pass. And Smith catches it, but backed up immediately. Anthony Henry in there, along with Kevin Burnett. And the Jets with a short possession again.
Yeah, just clever defense by the Dallas Cowboys. They're just not going to let anybody in the Jets offensive line double team one of the pass rushers. Wade Phillips loves to get after quarterbacks. He did it in San Diego. They're aggressive down here. And Kellen Clemens, he knows it. Doesn't even have time to look down the field.
Terrence Newman is the returner on this occasion. Last time it was Marion Barber, who never had a chance to field it. Newman's going to run away from this one. Bounces at the 1, and the Jets. Brad Smith, did he get there in time? Oh, the Jets bobble it, and it's a touchback. Wallace right. They botch a Leon Lett play for the Jets. That ball was not going anywhere if he just would have left it alone. And now Dallas. And Romo is taken down by Eric Barton.
Well, I think the Jets, they can already sense what's going on in this game. We got to take some chances, and we got to get after them with our defense. And good timing on the blitz. Eric Barton kind of fakes Tony Romo out. Looks like he's going to cover it. All the last second times it, gets around unblocked, and the coverage down the field for the first time was really tight and nowhere for Tony Romo to get rid of the football.
7-yard sack as the Jets the last 2 weeks now really picked it up when it comes to quarterback pressure. Witten alongside Romo in the backfield, and Barber, the other one flanking the quarterback, gets the handle. Now the Jets last week against Pittsburgh, they had 9 sacks on the whole season going into this game, and then put up 7, getting the Roethlisberger in Ben's face throughout.
Well, I'll say this. They did a good job. They could create some confusion. They do a lot. The Dallas Cowboys, they told us, boy, you got to work a long time to go over all the looks they give you. But the Jets were not near as confident of getting to Tony Romo as they were to Ben Roethlisberger. Here's that everybody walking around defense again.
No one in a down position for the Jets. From the stand up on 3rd and long, the Cowboys get over to Barber, and the Jets, David Harris, the rookie, throws him down. That was Sean Ellis coming after the quarterback. David Harris decking the receiver, Barber.
Well, just a key for the Jet fans. Anytime you see 2 guys in the backfield, it looks like for the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to do that. Let's walk around and see if we can confuse the blocking assignments for the offense and confuse, of course, the quarterback on who's going to be open. It's worked both times.
David Harris, who made that tackle, had 24 tackles in a game against the Redskins a couple of outings ago. Breyer caught this one, and it's Washington returning from the 29, backing up, trying to create separation. A long way to go for about a 3-yard return. Last night with them, we've had almost as many punts in this game as we have had first downs, but the Cowboys have found the end zone twice. Jets production offensively so far negligible.
Jets not doing much on offense, so you give a 5-wide receiver look. You got to change it up. You got to find a way to make plays.
They start out on first down out of the gun. They hit Baker, and he's going to fall for, well, maybe a first down. They've got only 2 in the game. They're going to give it to him. They make that 3 first downs for the Jets. Their first 4 possessions, not much to talk about. Still not a single snap in the Dallas end of the field.
Yeah, that's right. Kellen Clemens come to the sideline to get the play. Something must have happened to his microphone in his helmet. But, Jim, I always say this. You hear me say it all the time. When it's not happening on the field, a lot of times the coach, it's up to you. Make a play, make the players get involved, and get them going.
Back under center, and it is Thomas Jones. Had a quick burst and then hit the wall near the 46. Kellen Clemens, talk about all the players on the field, talk about the Cowboys being here today, but probably the truest Cowboy of anyone on the field today would be Kellen Clemens, raised on a 3,500-acre cattle ranch in the southeast pocket of Oregon, Burns, Oregon. He says, yes, I consider myself a true cowboy. Boots, spurs,
Chaps,
got the hat, the whole
big
thing.
cowboy hat, breaking colts, and he says it's awesome. I'll take his word for it.
He faces 2nd and 6. Oh, and that one just wide of his tight end. The family back there in Burns is getting together over at Grandma's house. Grandma Clemens, that was a long-time family tradition, and he was savoring it all, just talking about the turkey, the mashed potatoes, the pumpkin pie. And they're all watching back home in Burns, up the meadow from the main house.
And he made it clear when he was growing up, that great family atmosphere, that he did not like the Cowboys, even though you were trying to tie it in. Oh, you were a Cowboy on the farm. Were the Cowboys your favorite team? He goes, no, I hated them.
He liked the 49ers.
That's right, Joe Montana.
He needs 6 here to pick up another first. And he's picked. Look out. It's Terrence Newman. Terrence Newman's going to take it in for the touchdown.
Well, he's not going to like the Cowboys anymore now, and that was just a pure play by Terrence Newman going, please throw it. He had the perfect angle. The quarterback is going to have a hard time recognizing it, and when the football is thrown, what a break by Terrence Newman. He just waited, and you can do that when you have his kind of speed, and the receiver is breaking towards the sideline, so the football's got to stay in the air a little longer, and he catches it for the easy touchdown.
Boy, Romo got a big kick out of that, didn't he? And Coach Phillips, who told us that Newman just now is really 100% for the first time. A 50-yard run back, and it's 21-0. Terrence Newman. His pass was intended for Cotchery. It's all Cowboys down here in Big Dave. This Dallas defense, quite a story today. Greg Ellis hugging Terrence Newman. That's his first interception return for a touchdown. He had a punt return earlier in his career. He was their first round pick, 4th overall back in 2003. Kellen Clemens has to come right back out after seeing that one go the other way. Time to go ahead and just send it down the field to Leon Washington. Avoids 2 hits. He has the edge. Leon Washington with a flag. As for the first time in the game, the Jets were able to advance the football to Dallas territory, but a flag will likely bring it back. 39-yard return.
Illegal block in the back, number 52 of the return team. 10-yard penalty. Receivers will keep the ball. First down.
Well, let's look at that interception that Kellen Clemens threw, Jim. Terrence Newman is right here watching the quarterback the whole time. It's a blitz, so he thinks it could be a quick throw, so he never takes his eyes off of Kellen Clemens. Makes the break, and Wade Phillips.
Look at, I was mentioning the quarterback had quite a kick out of that.
Well, they made a nice little touch because Tony Romo's come across that field and slapped Wade Phillips' hands a few times. And Wade Phillips goes, hey, that's a little too much pain involved there.
He took a little off of that one, didn't he? And there's Thomas Jones. He picks up 5. Tomorrow on CBS, Christopher Lloyd guest stars on Friday's #1 show. Not pretty numbers from the Jets side. Giving it away twice. Pick up a first with Jones. That penalty on the kick return cost them about 31 yards. Jones picks up 8 on that run. In the rain now, it's back and forth between rain and snowflakes. Coming down a little more forcefully. 20% chance of rain was the forecast today.
Well, that's why you don't want to make a living being a weatherman. It's tough.
Let's have a new set of downs at the 35. Jones driving hard for about 6. Now you got a young quarterback like Clemens. He's just seen one run back. What kind of pass call do you give a young guy just to get his confidence back?
Well, Jim, I'm going to tell you this right now. There are no easy ones today. This Dallas defense is going to be aggressive, so they're going to make Kellen Clemens hold it and see somebody come open and throw it. But Eric Mangini told us in the Jets, they say one thing they like about him, he can forget bad moments. Well, we'll find out. Can he forget the interception and still keep throwing the ball down the field?
4 straight running plays after the pick. He said he has a short memory when it comes to football. That picks up only a yard. He's one of the youngest starting quarterbacks in the league. 4th youngest to start a game this year. See, Alex Smith of the 49ers started games now.
Third year.
On and off, yeah, for a number of years, and he's still the youngest to have started.
This is the way the Jets really want to play. They want their defense to stiffen up and be better, but they want to run the football more, control the tempo. They did that last week, down 21-0. Hard to be patient.
Clemens again does not have the services of Lavernius Coles, out with an ankle sprain. Clemens, pass, caught, tough grab, and he held on to it. McCarron's. And finally, the Jets are in plus territory for the first time. That goes for 18.
I'm not wanting to say, oh, that answers the question, because we saw Kellen Clemens throw it down the field, but that took some touch. He had to wait. The defense was coming at him again, and he threw it into tight coverage, and Brad Smith, 2 hands on it. This league, when you catch one in the air down the field, I'm sorry, it was Justin McCarron who caught it, you are going to get hit once it hits your hands.
From the 40, Thomas Jones almost was able to get through that seam. Manages only 2. Roy Williams comes up. Now, inside of 3 minutes to go in the first half, maybe the Jets can produce something here. Try to gain a little momentum. Been nothing for them so far. It was their first snap in Dallas territory. On 2nd and 8, over the head of Baker. We've got the Sprint halftime report coming up. JB, Dan, Boomer, and Coach Tower look at the first half. Leon Washington in on 3rd down. 3rd and 8 for the Jets. Got Washington, who slips, steps up, and still about a yard shy. Maybe we're only going to say he went out first. Back at the 33.
You said right, you saw him slip. There's a little film. You can see it on the field, the mixture of rain and snow. So when players make those sharp cuts, they got to be careful.
4th and 3, the offense stays on the field. And they may just wait and face this obstacle on the other side of the 2-minute warning. There you go.
Well, he says on 4th down, it's easy to go for it when your defense is playing really well. That's not quite the case today. But where they are, the 33-yard line, down 21-0, this is not even a tough decision. The decision would have been if you're on like the 40 or the 43, then what would you do? That would have been tough. I think even then, Eric Mangini would have gone for it.
Got a challenge flag thrown over by the Jets by Mangini.
Challenging, could he be challenging the spot of the ball? I don't think that's it.
He could possibly be challenging. Where did Leon Washington go out of bounds? One time we thought it was within a yard of it.
The Jets are challenging the ruling on the field of the out-of-bounds spot.
Yes.
We'll review the play where the player stepped out of bounds.
It's so close.
He's in.
Now, if in fact they win the challenge, they're still going to be short of the first, you got to think, by about a yard, but they'd have 4th and just a yard. And then, by the way, the play occurred outside of the 2 minutes. So 2-minute warning, so it could be challenged.
That's why the Jets could challenge it.
After reviewing the play was stand as called. The receiver's left foot stepped out of bounds at the spot where the ball was placed. The Jets will be charged with their first challenge and also for a timeout.
So, Jim, you're telling me this foot, that's out of bounds? And I know it's very close, but
got to have the indisputable evidence to overturn it.
It was enough to say for me to say.
Is it conclusive?
That shot's not, but the second one, I thought it was conclusive, but it was close.
All right, we've been sitting on this play for about 6 minutes, real time. Here we go, 4th and 3. Jets putting together the best drive of the day. Will it continue? Clemens, tough pass. Cotchery has it. And the Jets will continue to march from the 21. That picks up 12.
That was some throw by Kellen Clemens. Not open initially, and he kind of retreated, threw off his back foot.
Cotchery with his first grab of the game. Ball slips out of the hands of Clemens. And they'll lose a yard.
Yeah, with this little drizzle coming down, the field being wet, possible you could have the ball slip through your fingers, so you got to be careful.
Call it a 2nd and 11. Toward the end zone. Ball tipped away. Ken Hamlin and Jock Reeves doubling up on Brad Smith.
Well, Jim, let's go back. Look at this 4th down throw. Initially, Cotchery not open, but he keeps working, makes a fine catch. And the last time, Kellen Clemens immediately looked out to his right. He throws it to Brad Smith, and Ken Hamlin, the safety, runs to that sideline. As soon as that ball was snapped, good break up by Reeves, but also Ken Hamlin making a big hit.
Big hit on his own player. Took them both out. 3rd and 11. Running out of the pocket. Clemens looking end zone, firing it. Jet players down. No contact, they say, no flag. It was intended for Cotchery. That was Keith Davis back defending. So they'll bring out Nugent.
Nothing there initially. Kellen Clemens does a good job. Something he does break out of the pocket quite a bit. And that's an incidental trip in the end zone, and that is not a flag. Nobody to throw it to, so throw it away and get a field goal try.
Mike Nugent, who won the game in overtime last week, his first career attempt in overtime, and he made it. This will be a 40-yarder. The kick is good.
I was offered the opportunity to fly in one of those jets, I guess you would say. And
well, why didn't you? David Faraday did it this year. Our golf colleague.
You know, there's just certain things that just don't thrill me anymore, and that's one of them.
Miles Austin snags it at the 9 and is tackled at the 33. Speaking of David Faraday, our colleague, I'd like to pass along happy Thanksgiving to all of our CBS brothers and sisters. And David, by the way, is overspreading goodwill and good wishes to the troops over in Iraq during this Thanksgiving holiday. Over there was some of the members of the PGA Tour. Corey Pavin, for example, did that last year with Frank Licklider and some others. 33 seconds to go here in the first half. Romo will come out in shotgun. See if they can come up with a little something here before the intermission. They go run. Hip-hop move. It's Barber to the 36. Dallas has 3 timeouts, but not looking to take one.
Well, like most teams, Jim, they'll try to get a first down before they do call a timeout. This taking so long, even if they pick up the first down, it's going to be hard to get a field goal attempt.
Back to Barber and immediately hit by Harris for no gain. Jets will be getting the second half kickoff Meaningful drive of that first half for the Jets the last time they had it. They went 13 plays, led to a field goal, 40-yarder by Mike Nugent. Leon Washington running it back from the 13. Boy, he's got that quickness that's so hard to cover, and he's out to the 36. And again, Jim Nantz and Phil Simms, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you. What about the second half? What do you expect here, Phil?
Well, I know the Jets got to find a way to make plays on both sides of the ball. On offense, they got to give Kellen Clemens a little more time, and can somebody get open down the field? They did not do that in the first half.
Thomas Jones ran hard that last series of the first half, but really held intact overall. 11 carries, 26 yards. They'll go Jones, and he hurdles out to the 39 and give him 3. Again, the Jets rush total 35 overall. They turned it over twice. The one turnover committed by the Cowboys, Romo picked by Kerry Rhodes. A silent first half mainly for Terrell Owens. He had 2 catches, 19 yards. Fake the pitch. Pressure, stepping up away from it. Clemens, he's launching it for Cotchery. Contact down the field, and no flag. Ken Hamlin covering. Cotchery saying, wait, what's this? No flag?
There was a lot of pushing and shoving. One way to give Kellen Clemens more time. The play action fake, and then they move the pocket, and it allows Jericho Cotchery to get deep down the field. It looks like he's got a half a step, but that is good coverage. Ken Hamlin, oh boy, the hand to the face, but they're both pushing, and Ken Hamlin trying to turn to find the football. That's why there was no penalty flag thrown.
They turned ahead a little bit too. They both got in there a little bit.
And they're both hand fighting.
Cotchery with only 2 catches over his last 6 quarters, plus an overtime session. He's usually good for 4 or 5 catches a game, and this play is nullified. Missing the presence, though, of Lavernius Coles.
Play of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
I think that's a big key for this Jets offense. Lavernius Coles out. He's their #1 receiver. And always remember, he's your #1. The rest of them have to bump up. Now Jericho Cotchery is the guy. He has got to make plays. He's got to get open. He's got to be Terrell Owens for the Jets offense, like Owens is for the Cowboys.
Got to get it to the 46 for a first. They protect him this time. Eventually it's got to break down. There's just nothing open down the field, and eventually it collapses on Clemens with Ellis getting the sack.
That's what it is. This time the Jets trying to pick up the first down. They're looking deep down the field. There is nobody there. And Greg Ellis, outside linebacker, pass rusher on 3rd down. Finally gets there and gets the sack.
His second of the day. Well, Newman will have to backpedal in a hurry, and he does. Well, he jumps away from it. Now fields it at the 15. And has nowhere to go. Chatham. And there's Owens again. 2 catches in that first half for 19 yards. Revis, the rookie, on him. Romo goes other side. And a nice grab by Hurd. Sam Hurd starting today for Patrick Creighton, who's out with an ankle. That goes for 8.
The one thing I've noticed, these Jet defensive backs, they're trying to be very physical at the line of scrimmage with the Dallas wide receivers. That time the football just falls out of Tony Romo's hands. If it comes out cleanly, Hurd could have caught it and run up the field because Hank Poteet fell down.
2nd and short for Dallas. We'll go Julius Jones. Tries to dive under the contact. He's a yard short of the first. That's Eric Barton along with Coleman for the Jets.
You know, Jim, one thing I've noticed as you watch this game, the Jet defense, Darrelle Revis is following Terrell Owens around the field when he can. And what I've noticed too, at the line of scrimmage, He's every bit the match for Terrell Owens, trying to get off and get down the field.
He's done a good job. Here he is on him again. About a half yard to go for a first. They got Barber in as a fullback. He gets the call and he plows ahead for the first down.
You know, when you watch Rivas covering, we talked to him last week before the Pittsburgh game. As they look, and as T.O. runs out to the top of your screen, there goes number 24 with him. And I said, what about playing against Terrell Owens? He goes, competition.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. And he was the first-round draft pick of the New York Jets. They moved up on draft day to pick him, and he has not been a disappointment. You need a corner who can just go, I got him. And so far this year, he's done it a lot for the New York Jets.
He's on Hurd on this occasion. First down and 10. That's Jones. And David Harris doesn't let him get too much out of it. Goes for 4 yards. This is how they've defended T.O. in this one.
Well, we said that the Jets said we're going to focus on Terrell Owens and Jason Witten. That time Rivas almost went for the interception. And Kerry Rhodes, 6'3", high school quarterback, jumps up. What an interception. Had a terrific one last week, too, against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And again, both of the catches were on that first series of the game that took only 8 plays to get to the end zone with Marion Barber. Second down and 6. Now they're looking for Owens. And Rivas was a little turned around, and T.O. got the feet down. Goes for 11 yards.
Well, if you can't get by him, then what you do, and all teams are doing this now, another good contact of the line of scrimmage, you throw it back shoulder, throw it behind the receiver. Very tough for a defensive back to turn, find the ball, and react to a perfectly thrown ball like that one.
So we got the memo. No catches since the first drive. The next snap, he's back in the books. 3 catches, 30 yards. Robertson giving chase, and he takes him down at the 28 with a flag. It would indicate holding against the Cowboys anyway.
Well, this Jets defense couldn't sack the quarterback all year long until last week. Now against a very good pass protecting offensive line. Pressure Tony Romo quite a few times today.
Declined this one, obviously.
Holding, 63, offense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, second down.
Kyle Kozar right in the middle of your screen. Boy, Dwayne Robertson, good job last week. When he gets singled up, he's big, he's quick, and he can go right or left against one blocker. He has taken advantage of those situations 2 weeks in a row. 2.5
sacks last week for Robertson. Has another one today. In fact, that one lost 15 yards. Second and 25. Fakes and a pass, and it's Austin. It's about half of it back to the 43. You know, talking to Tony Romo, he wanted to be sure that we passed along Thanksgiving wishes and thoughts back to the family in Wisconsin. His father, Romero Romo, just out of the hospital on Monday, and family's so grateful that he's doing just great. And he wanted to pass along thanks to his doctor, Dr. Cataloni up there, who helped get his dad back in good condition. Been fighting cancer, and all reports now are just great. Doing well. Tony wants his dad to get back so we can play some golf with him soon, after the season ends. Doesn't want to hear any excuses. He goes to T.O., slips, and will be short of the first.
Tony Romo to Terrell Owens.
But you talk about that golf game, Tony Romo with his father, Jim, and Tony Romo, the competitor, said, make sure you pass along to my dad. Be ready to play. You're not getting any sympathy strokes.
I don't want any excuses.
No excuses, that's right.
Well, that was 9 completions in a row for Romo to come up about 5 yards short. And McBriar back out. Fair catch. 14-yard line by Leon Washington. The 37-yard boot. You back to Dallas. And the Jets pinned at the 14. Thomas Jones again. DeMarcus Ware has been riding with him, it seems, all day. That goes for a 1-yard setback. You can send your favorite player to Hawaii. Vote for the Pro Bowl at NFL.com/Pro Bowl or text PRO to 7777 via your Sprint service. NFL.com/Pro Bowl for all the details. Will Montgomery on that offensive line for the Jets. It's a 2nd and 11. Look out, it's going out of bounds. Pressure in his face provided by Chris Canty.
Well, there's pressure, Jim. The initial protection, very good. Kellen Clemens goes from left to right. Nobody there, and a quarterback knows, hey, I got to get rid of the football. You panic a little, you move. Protection breaks down. Fortunate just to be able to throw it out of bounds.
Jets have managed to convert only once on 3rd down. This is a dangerous place to pick up 11 or to attempt to. They're chasing again. Throws it left-handed out of bounds. This time it was Ratliff and Hatcher.
Well, I've always said to be a successful quarterback in the NFL, you got to be able to throw from a lot of different ways. Off your back foot, pressure in your face, and then every once in a while, of course, you got to throw the old left-handed. It wasn't bad looking. But doesn't lose yards, doesn't take the sack. But the Jet offense, protection, getting overpowered, and not enough speed to make plays downfield.
It's Barber back again. Getting no opportunity to run back the punt. It goes out of bounds at about the 48. 160 yards total offense. They're, of course, 2nd in the league behind the Patriots in virtually every offensive category, but cruising at 21-3 and running with Barber. Barber finally chopped by Hank Poteet.
Well, you know, Jim, you talk about, well, they don't have a lot of total yards, but remember the score is 21-3, and I believe a lot of the play calling and the way Wade Phillips, Jason Garrett, way they're managing the game, they're just not going to take those chances. And why should you? The Jets have really shown not much on offense where you got to think that, hey, 21-3 might not be safe.
Oliver Hoyt, the fullback, helped spring him for 20 yards. Dallas now at the 32. Jump pass back to Barber, and he's inside the 30. We've got your trophies to give away a little later. And, of course, you guys have some of the fixins. There's Tim Love. To your Phil Simms honorees at the end of the game. And that's Barber trying to get outside, and Poteet, again, one of those chasing after him. So we're going to have the trophies. We're going to have a little cobbler. And I want to send along best wishes to your mom up in the Louisville area. A little under the weather, and she usually bakes a little cobbler, fixes it up for this occasion, but she's on injured reserve this year. Just a one-year deal, but I hope you're doing well, Mrs. Simms, and we're thinking of you.
Well, that's nice of you. Yes, she is doing better, so thank you.
Got a little fill-in.
I just want to know if my brothers had pity on her, or does she have to cook for them today? Because, you know, God forbid they got to miss a meal.
Well, we got somebody stepping in for Mrs. Simms.
Yes.
Not my mother this time, coming up from Houston. A little pecan pie. Here comes Romo. Looking down for Whitten, standing there, and Poteet got a hand in it. Looked like it might be another one for Whitten, and this is something that Romo kind of felt was going to be open. When we talked to him this week, he said that there's more progression read kind of defense here with the Jets. Whitten should have a big game is what he told us. He's already caught 1 touchdown.
Yeah, you know what it is. There you are. It's 3rd down, 5, 6 yards, whatever you think. You're a defensive player. The Cowboys, I've said it a couple times, they're not just going for the 1st down. They go for the big play. And Jason Witten, it fools Hank Poteet. And only the really badly underthrown ball stops the touchdown from happening for the Cowboys.
Nick Folk out for a 46-yard field goal. Johnson on the hold, and Folk boots it through. Back to a 21-point. Producer of NFL football and many other things at CBS back in the 60s, 70s, early 80s. Used to produce the Summerall Brookshire team and just recently passed away. Our thoughts out to his family. As Dallas will kick it deep here to Washington at the 10. Leon again. He's good for that 35-yard line minimum just about every time. It's a 3-touchdown lead again for the Cowboys.
You drink?
Oh, God, yeah, Congressman.
A stiff drink.
Charlie.
I mean, you mean you won't have an opinion?
I'll throw one in there. Miss Jones just for 2. That's all. Dallas defense continuing to be the story here. Tonight on CBS, no leftovers. We've got a new episode of CSI coming up at 9, 8 Central, right after Survivor on America's most watched network. Jets quickly to the line. Clements to McCarron's, and the ball is knocked out by Anthony Henry. Jets offense, by and large, they've all been short trips to the field, except for that 13-play drive before the half. They had a 4th down conversion in there to Kotri, his only catch.
You know, Jim, there's just no matchups that really favor the Jets. Their offensive line is solid, but this Dallas defensive line is big and talented, and they just can't get away outside.
Clemens missing on his last 6, make it 7 throws. He had no chance this time. It's DeMarcus Ware pummeling him from behind.
Well, we said from the beginning of the game, what concerns the Jets offense, it's the outside pass rushers. There's DeMarcus Ware. Initial protection is good by DeBrickashaw Ferguson, but when the coverage down the field, nobody's open. You move, they get off the block. It's just a lot of talent on this Dallas defense.
3 times in this quarter now. The Jets 3 and out. Cowboys trying to set up the return, but this one really caught. And it bounces in for Graham into the end zone. 41 yards net. This is not Wade Phillips' first trip to Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. Of course, directing the Cowboys now. He was on his dad's staff when the Oilers came in here in '79 and ran it with Earl Campbell. 195 yards, 2 touchdowns. Houston beat Dallas that day. And there is the great bum Phillips with the salute. Son Wade now directing America's team.
A coach who never thought he would get a chance to be a head coach in the NFL again. Had success at Denver and Buffalo. And he just said, he goes, look, I'm a Texas guy. I'm living a dream.
He is a nice fit, isn't it?
Yeah.
He said, I wore my boots when I came in for the interview. I said, isn't it kind of fitting to be, you've had chances at Buffalo.
Right.
And by the way, his record, you know, he took teams to playoffs at Buffalo and at Denver, but this is a fit like his dad was in Houston. You know, he's an embodiment of the whole Texas attitude.
I believe that. I think it is, you know, there are certain parts of the country where you want a guy from your that's one of you, and that's what he is. And he said it's a dream of every Texas high school football coach, which he was, to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And he was doing everything, like you said, to help. Wore his boots, did it all when he came for the interview.
Well, the great Rich Dalrymple, who really runs their PR, has said that was a great connection with the fan base. And Witten unable to hold on. He said the fans were saying, we've got us a Texan now. But, you know, like you said, Wade considers himself really, I'm just a Texas high school coach. But he's the only Cowboy coach they ever had who coached high school football and coached in college here as well. He was an assistant down at the University of Houston, where he's a graduate. And, of course, now running things here in Dallas.
And, you know, he talked about so much. We've done 2 games here this year. Just enjoying the process more. He's pretty loose. His team shows they want to play with more emotion. They've done that so far this year.
Second down, that's Jones. Just about 3 yards. You know, one thing when you're the head coach, though, of the Cowboys, that means you got Thanksgiving. It's not like when he's been the defensive coordinator at San Diego and other places. This prevents his wife, Lori, from being able to get in there and prepare her famous, he says is famous around the league, her famous Thanksgiving feast.
Fried turkey.
Shrimp gumbo in a wash tub. Okay, we're talking about 20 pounds of shrimp, the fried turkey, and about 40 people they would usually have over.
Sounds like some of the guys we work with should go to that dinner.
I think Lance Barrow would be the first to sign up. Our esteemed producer. Mike Arnold always looking for a free meal right behind him. But there's someone's, and he's got the first down. But we pass along our Thanksgiving wishes to Bum and Debbie down in Goliad. And you got it, Wade. You got the first. Move the chains.
You know, it's interesting. You know, we talked to Wade Phillips, and sometimes you ask him a question, or he'll ask himself the question and answer. He goes, you know, we got some pretty good chemistry going on. You know, we have no problems between the offense and defense. And he goes, yeah, it does help that our offense is really doing well, though. And that's what makes chemistry. If it's just the defense doing really well, there always seems to be a problem that creeps up with your football team.
And Jones into the pile for about 3. And what you're saying is, put it this way, our team has come together and we believe in each other, as do these two, Thomas and Julius Jones. Not anything right now that's comparable to what we saw back 4 years ago when Julius ran for 150 on Thanksgiving Day. There they go. Thomas today, there's just nothing out there for him. Not a single crease. 14 carries, 30 yards. The 33, 2nd down and 7. And here's Julius Jones. And a nice move to shrug off the hit, pick up the first. And these two played in 2004 with the Bears. Thomas Jones had 46 yards on the ground, but his kid brother Julius 150 and 2 touchdowns, leading the Cowboys to victory. He'll always be my kid brother, Thomas told us a couple of days ago. I'll be 80, he'll be 77. He's still my kid brother, and I love him. It's another handle for about 4.
Cowboys doing just what they want to do here, Jim, is just to have a nice controlled drive, pick up a couple 3rd downs, keep the clock moving, and try to get the game over with and move on. Jason Garrett, and this is probably, of all the games that I've watched this year, I've seen just about every Cowboy game, the most conservative they have been, not trying to force the issue. Of course, always, like any NFL game, it's going to be hard for Tony Romo to throw for 300 yards when they've been leading right from the start.
Jason Garrett, who started a Cowboy game on a Thanksgiving Day back in the early 90s, and that's Romo to Witten. That is some combo. It works every week. Ridden out by Abram Elam.
So many times when Tony Romo drops back, Jason Witten going shallow across the field. When he drops back in play action, whatever the pass is, Jason Witten is going to be his first option. Look at him. If you cover him, then he'll look down the field, most likely for Terrell Owens.
We've moved it to the New York 42, and again the Jets with 3 possessions for 3 minutes. Failing to pick up a first down in this quarter, which has less than a minute to go. Jones bouncing around. Good hard run for about 7.
Well, you're running more plays like this, the Dallas Cowboys. You're the bigger team. You are definitely going to start wearing down the defense. And Julius Jones, tired defense, missed tackle, getting blocked, another missed tackle. And finally, when you bring him down, he's picked up 7 or 8 yards. Looked like a pinball machine running through there that time.
And the Cowboys do not have to run another play in this quarter.
That's a tremendous combination at any sport, especially football.
They have dominated the 4th quarter on Thanksgiving Day for about a decade. Talking about Dallas, and they come in here with a comfortable working margin and another first down picked up by Jones. In fact, they haven't given up a touchdown, talking about the Cowboys, since 1998 in the 4th quarter of a Thanksgiving game. Outscoring since '99, 81-6.
And you're always asking me, well, explain this. I just can't. I don't know. Is it a bad team? Is it a short week traveling for the opponent? It's a lot of teams that cover, so.
The Cowboys have had a Thanksgiving Day occasions every year since 1966, but 2. Pete Rozelle had this idea that he hatched, gave it to Tex Schramm, said, I think America has an appetite for another Thanksgiving Day game in the afternoon after Detroit. Romo, Britton, Harris bumps him out. When we're talking about the last time an opponent put up a touchdown against Dallas in the 4th quarter on Turkey Day, well, here it is. Randall Cunningham at quarterback gives it to Leroy Horde of the Vikings. He goes 50 yards. For the touchdown. But they started in '66. Dallas went against Cleveland. That first occasion down here. A couple of times during the '70s, St. Louis got to host. Detroit, Dallas. It works. And it's worked well for the Cowboys great majority of the time. Romo. Jones underneath is wide open. Has another first down.
Let's look at this. Here's Jason Witten going down the field. Here's Terrell Owens. It's the play that Kerry Rhodes intercepted in the first half. You're the quarterback. Look at this angle. Tony Romo, though, knows the score, playing it safe, doesn't take the chance. Wouldn't have been much of a chance, but he's looking short just to keep the chains moving and play it smart. I thought they'd come back and run that play again.
Just a very methodical drive, motoring down the field. Yeah. Couple 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. They pick up the first whenever they need it. We are seeing the officiating crew operating one short right now. Phil Luckett went out with an injury in the second quarter, the back judge. 64 yards on the game for Jones. Clemens has been sitting out for a while. Still no first downs in the second half for New York. 13th play of the drive coming up for Dallas. Good play action. Witten has it jarred loose by Elam.
Abram Elam from the Dallas Cowboys. It's a blitz by the New York Jets defense, and the throw is just a little offline, and it gives Elam just enough time to come in and break it up. He was a nice pickup this year for the New York Jets. Has played well.
Romo on a little bit of a hot streak, even with that incompletion. He's hit 15 of his last 18. With one touchdown toss already, that's a Witten. In the second quarter, 3rd down and 9. Jones will not find the first down yardage. Revis comes up, ball is out, but the whistle's first. So another field goal attempt on the way by Falk. Nick Falk delivering one of the more dramatic moments of the season when Dallas won at Buffalo. Never led in that entire game until there were zeros on the clock at the end.
Yeah, that's right. You remember he kicked the long field goal, made it. Dick Geron, 53. What was it, 53-yarder?
53 yards, good.
Called
but
a timeout.
Timeout was called first.
Lined up and
drilled it again.
Did it again, which is, got to give him a lot of credit.
This is a rather pedestrian 27 yards. And he knocks it through. Down. Child, congratulations to Melissa and Matt. And Jake Austin Miller joining us just a couple of days back. Here's the kick. It's going to travel to the 8. Brad Smith. And he weaves his way to about the 32. Can the Jets find the end zone today? Got 11 minutes left. Clemens and Romo, quarterback comparison here. Clemens has been on the run all afternoon. Very little time to operate. Under 100 yards. Dallas floods that defensive front. This time, some time, and over the head of Cotchery, who had a step on Henry. Here's the lineup tonight on CBS. Thanksgiving feast of new episodes, beginning with Survivor China, followed by CSI and Without a Trace. It's all tonight on America's #1 network. You know, that last drive by the Cowboys should not go unrecognized. 15 plays it lasted. Longest drive play-wise of the season. And has a few people steamed. 8.5 minutes, 15 plays, and a field goal. Clemens, pass should have been caught. It was Baker, pretty sure-handed most of the time.
What has the Jets offense done today? Well, it's punted a lot. Very few first downs. The play before Jim, Jericho Cotchery opened down the field. That was their best chance all day of making something big happen. And they've been on the field so little. No rhythm, of course. Tough to make it happen when you even get the chance.
Still looking for the first down of the second half. Clemens fires it. And it is ruled on the field incomplete. That was McCarron's. And Clemens has misfired on his last 10. Though the last 2 should have been caught. Baker had a good one the play before. And now McCarron's. That has to be caught. Newman providing probably the single biggest highlight of this game with his interception and run back in the second quarter. Chance to run again with the football. Near the 30. 27-3. Dallas on its way to 10-1.
Play artist Smashing Pumpkins. That's the sync system. Voice activates MP3s, cell phones.
Do that again. Play artist Tiffany. Play artist Michael Bolton.
Play artist Cor
With 10:47 to play. They led at 21-3 at halftime. Just a couple of Nick Folk field goals here in the second half, and that is Barber for about 3. Interestingly, the Cowboys had 7 different starting quarterbacks the last 7 Thanksgiving Day games. And Romo now gets a chance to go back-to-back. Last year he threw 5 touchdowns in the win against Tampa Bay, which is a Cowboy record on Thanksgiving. Matches the Cowboy team record, actually. Needs one more touchdown pass to tie Danny White for the single season mark of 29.
A lot of team records falling this year around the league. Quarterbacks just having, a group of quarterbacks just having exceptional statistical years.
And Barber, it just runs wild every time. It's just a major intensity he brings to the field. Goes for 9 yards.
I'll tell you one thing, as you watch the NFL, it's just good teams. You started out the year, you go, wow, the Cowboys are pretty good. And they just have gotten better as you watch them all year long. And you could say the same thing about, of course, the New England Patriots, and then even the Green Bay Packers. And nobody was sure, but these last 3 or 4 weeks, I think all the doubt's gone now. Brett Favre, the style of offense they're playing, putting it in his hands, it's all worked very well for the Green Bay Packers.
Another first down for Dallas. Barber zigging, zagging near another first. So go back to 2000. Troy Aikman was the Cowboy quarterback. Hall of Famer. Ryan Leaf started in 01. Chad Hutchinson. All these years you're wondering, is this the next guy? Quincy Carter. Drew Henson against Chicago. Cowboys won that game. Bledsoe against Denver in 05. And Romo last year threw 5 touchdown passes. Now he goes back-to-back. And the ones who won were all against NFC teams. Hutchinson, Henson, and Romo. The AFC had the better of it because they alternate years. The last 3 times the AFC had won this matchup on Thanksgiving Day. Barber just getting stronger, and he starts pounding teams just like this in the fourth quarter. Picks up most of his yardage late. That goes for 13.
Yeah, we talked about it, Jim. Such a good change up from Julius Jones. They both have different styles, and Marion Barber, he just brings a personality to your football team. The way he plays, the way he runs it, gets tough yards, and tremendous blocker when he has to stay in there for a pass and pick up blitzers.
Quite a 1-2 combo, Jones and Barber. Barber, who was accustomed to splitting time at Minnesota with Lawrence Maroney, as those two went back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons as a pair. Romo to Barber, somehow got it to him, squeezed that pass over to him, and Elam finally gets him down, but not until after another 12.
When you throw the football a lot, you start getting plays like this. A little lucky that time. The ball was tipped. Looked like Eric Martin hit it. But when you throw it so much, you just get a good feel of how to make plays. And that's what the Dallas Cowboy offense has been doing. That was Matt Chatham who tipped that ball.
Well, this drive, all 5 plays have ended up with the football in the arms of Barber for 47 yards. Six consecutive touches. And again, working hard to get anything he can out of it. Trying to make a late run at one of your trophies, perhaps, Phil. This is earlier today. How come you don't arrive with an escort like that? Your trophies do.
I'm a man of the people.
Yeah, you're a man of the people. Thank you for stealing my line.
I drive myself to the games. I don't have limos.
Oh, I know better than that.
Suites in the hotel.
You're describing yourself.
I fly
Give
coach.
me another one.
I fly coach.
Okay.
You fly first class. Just telling the truth.
I don't think so.
You know, I don't have an air dance.
You really portraying this thing a little upside down, aren't you? From the 22, second down and 8. Romo going for Owens. T.O. has the touchdown on Thanksgiving Day. .22 yards. You can almost see it. You said it during the last break. They're lulling them into a play just like this.
You know, I tell you, as you watch the play, Revis on the outside all day long, put it in this position, and he hesitates just a little bit. He slows down, and that's enough for Tony Romo to make the perfect throw. But, Jim, you know, I look at this play, and it's just what it does. It keeps Terrell Owens excited. Now the game is over. Well, he got some catches. He scored a touchdown, and he brings that energy to the practice field when things go well for him in the game.
Extra point good. 6 straight games. Owens with at least 1 touchdown, and Romo has tied the Cowboys single-season record. His 29th touchdown pass of the season.
Legend.
When you win it. eBay. Shop victoriously.
Dude.
Dude.
The NFL on
on CBS is sponsored by Warner Brothers' new motion picture, I Am Legend, in theaters Friday, December 14th. And by Verizon Wireless.
The Cowboys now leading it 34-3, and
Terrell Owens telling Ray Sherman, the wide receiver coach, how he did it. But it's interesting. We talked about it during the commercial. He is the main focus. I think Tony Romo just had a Dallas Cowboy record, but he's the focus of the offense, of the passing game, and you got to keep wide receivers happy, and it's always good when they have big games.
Brad Smith, like he's running the option. In fact, he does. Gives it back to Washington. Ooh, that was a little frightening, but he's out to the 42-yard line.
Tony Romo, we said it, they'd love to go down the field. And look, to get two inside receivers, they're going deep, but he picks the one-on-one coverage. Knows he has Terrell Owens against Darrelle Revis on the outside, and it's a perfect throw. And even though it ties a Cowboy record, and you throw those touchdown passes in the NFL, it's an exciting moment.
Romo 75% on the day, just shy of 200 yards and a pair of touchdowns. So Smith giving it up to Washington. Jets, good starting point, 42-yard line. Maybe they can be the first team to take it in on a Thanksgiving Day game against Dallas since '98. Tank Johnson on the tackle.
Jets just overwhelmed today. Big win on Sunday. You think it might carry over? I did think it would carry over, but the talent of the Cowboys is just too much.
Setting up screen to Jones. The other thing is, it's not like the Jets at 2-8 had been blown out like this during the season. They were competitive. They had 3 double-digit leads that were lost, and 5 losses amounting to 27 points.
Well, you're right. They've been every single football game. The only one you could say maybe not opening game of the year against the New England Patriots.
Clements gets it to Cotchery. Cotchery out of bounds at the 20. That one thing about the Patriots game, that was a tight game at halftime, and then Ellis Hobbs ran back the second half kick 108 yards, and they blew it open. And that's the first we saw of Brady to Moss. A sneak preview of what this year was going to be like.
Kellen Clemens, nobody open, stays in the pocket, very little room, and still makes the perfect throw. That's one of the reasons why he was a second-round draft pick, because he does not need a lot of space to be able to drive the football down the field.
That last one goes for 31. Thomas Jones. It's about halfway home, and the Jets have a first down. Picks up 11. Here's Mr. and Mrs. Jones with their shirts cut in half. Half Jets, half Cowboys. And that's Brad Smith with the catch down at the 2. Maybe their son will get his first touchdown as a Jet. He has touched it over 230 times since he last scored in the playoffs for the Bears. Here he is. And the Cowboys, it's like they knew it too. And Hamlin coming up.
Kind of epitomized the whole day. They run it. You think the defense is looking for a pass. The offensive line just gets pushed right back into the backfield.
You saw Julius Jones, an interested onlooker. 3rd and goal. Clemens lobs it to the back of the end zone. Baker was the receiver in that area. And they'll try to wing it in there one more time on 4th and goal.
Tony Romo, Brad Johnson the backup. Good combination. Young quarterback, a veteran who's been in all situations.
Can the Cowboy defense keep him out of the end zone today? Clemens quickly pass caught, but was he? Yes, he's outside of the end zone. The Cowboys will take over on downs. Baker makes the catch just outside of it. Did not cross the plane, they say.
Good shot there. Definitely, Jim, you're right. Half-yard line as he comes back to catch it before he gains possession. It is in the field of play.
This might be worth a challenge anyway. Why not? You're the Jets.
Quarterback for the Cowboys, number 14, Brad Johnson.
Yeah, he doesn't agree.
So they're just going to let it go. Cowboys will take over at the 1. Brad Johnson is in at quarterback. Barber gives him a little room near the 5. Got some college football coming up Friday and Saturday on CBS. Tomorrow, number 1 LSU take on McFadden and the Razorbacks. Vern Lundquist and Gary Danielson will be there. Got a little double dip action coming.
Doing both, doing 2 games.
Florida State, Florida.
Vern,
Saturday. It's great to see Vern and Nancy Lundquist last night.
We saw Vern last night. He was excited because he says he gets paid twice this week.
Yeah.
Double up that salary.
And holiday overtime pay.
Yeah, that's right.
We were at our Thanksgiving feast hosted by our man Lance Barrow. And that's Barber. We're getting close to naming your award winners, and we're going to have, of course, the customary desserts. You know, there's your man Tim Love on the right, Iron Chef, but that beautiful little lady on the left, that's my mother.
That's your mother. I tell you, she's proud of her.
She's proud of her pie. I know that.
Oh my gosh, yes, she talked to me last night. She was feeling the pressure.
Doris Jean Nance bringing out her famous pecan chocolate fudge pie.
Wow.
Little taste of Texas. Worked on it all day Tuesday. Those and some Hello Dollies. And then drove it up here yesterday with my sister and her family. Sister Nancy and Don Hockaday. So they're all excited. She hopes that somebody out there tasting likes it. Tim Love is too, for that matter. You know, we're talking about an award-winning chef there with the cobbler, with the apple strawberry cobbler. So we're heading into the 2-minute warning, and you know what? Coming out of it, I want some answers.
You got it.
I want to know who is going to be saluted. The Cowboys. Impressive again today.
Do you have what it takes to get a great deal? The latest phones are on sale at Verizon Wireless.
Winning here on Thanksgiving Day. Both are now 10-1, and they are a week away from squaring off for what certainly appears to be the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs.
Yeah, it is, Jim. And the Cowboys, make no doubt about it now, as we said during the game, it's hard to find a weak spot of their football team. And the quarterback, the play calling on both sides of the field are aggressive. And the players take advantage of it.
As Barber out to the 15, it is that time. It is that time for your award winners.
Well, let me start. There's 5 of them. We got 5 trophies. 5, yeah. Okay. Let's give them away. All Everybody likes trophies, but we're going to give one to Tony Romo for having a really good, solid day and tying the Cowboy passing record. Terrence Newman, the interception, that was tremendous. DeMarcus Ware, he's had a great day. Chris Canty, another guy, and then outside linebacker again, Greg Ellis. So 4 defensive players and Tony Romo.
You did say Ware, didn't you?
Yes, DeMarcus Ware, yes.
I can't argue with that. Ware, Canty, Ellis, and Newman on defense. Romo for the Cowboy offense. Got the Subway post-game show coming up immediately following this. Back to JB and Dan and Boomer and Coach Cower. We sent along, by the way, our warmest wishes for Shannon Sharp. Been under the weather. We miss him. We hope he's back real soon. But they'll be up with the Subway post-game show. And don't forget that during the post-game show, Phil, you'll be making that all-iron MVP presentation. So you'll want to see that, folks. Jets will get a chance to handle it here. Just seconds to go. Aaron Smith almost able to bust free and get a hand on it. You know, the Cowboys, this 9-1 coming into this. It was the third time in their history, in their rich history, they've been 9-1. They've never been 10-1 until now. We said for the #1 seed in all likelihood. It's all but a lock, of course. And we look forward to seeing, or we hope to see next Thursday, Dallas and Green Bay.
You know you're going to see it. It's if you follow football, you can't wait to see Dallas and Green Bay play. It's two terrific quarterbacks, two teams that have just gotten better as the year has gone along, and especially the Green Bay Packers have just found a way, and they just put the football in Brett Favre's hands, and he has rewarded the coach with having confidence in him, and he's playing one of his best seasons in who knows how long.
Timeout called.
First charge timeout
by Dallas.
30-second timeout.
You know, the Cowboys haven't won a postseason game, Phil, since 1996 in the wild card round. It's been a long drought. But as you mentioned, Coach Phillips and his team coming together, he says, you know, we seek continuity, and we've had it. He said, that's what I ask for. One of the most important things I ask for is, Coach, every week you come out and you play hard. You don't make bad, silly mistakes. This team has done it.
Yeah, they really have, and I tell you, it's like you said, the team is together, and well, of course, it's always easier to be together and have good chemistry when you're winning, but it's all worked out well, and the head coach has a lot to do with that. He has handled the players well, and he's put the focus on guys to help them make those plays.
And Washington gets a quick scamper for about 12, maybe 11, and it looks like the Jets are just going to let it go. They're going to head back to New York. Stung by this one today. Dallas set the pace on that opening drive and really never looked back. They rushed for a season-high 174 yards. Romo 195 passing and a couple of touchdowns. Terrence Newman with the backbreaker, the interception, and the run back for a score. Got the Subway post-game show coming up, and we'll see you back for that, for Phil's all-iron team. And as we say goodbye for now, we reflect on all of our many blessings, and for this crew that travels all year long, whether it's football, golf, basketball, we remember those we love we can't be with today. As we say happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
Coach Bill Cowher and Boomer Esiason. Right. Tonight on CBS, folks, feast your eyes on Survivor China. You won't believe what the castaways have to gobble up. Then it's a crazy case of whodunit on a new episode of CSI, followed by a new Without a Trace. It's all tonight on CBS, America's most watched network. More. Look at that. 34-3 was the final. Dallas Cowboys now at 10-1. We're going to go out and join Phil Simms and Jim Nantz with the All-Iron MVP Award presentation.
Thank you, JB. It is that time, and there they are. Chris Canty, DeMarcus Ware, Terrence Newman, Greg Ellis. How about it, Phil? It's time to salute these guys.
Yeah, it is time. The defense was terrific today. That's why they're all down there. It's the biggest group of Iron winners we've ever had. And Terrence Newman, I got to ask you first. You made the interception today, ran it back for a touchdown. It just turned the game around. What about that play?
We ran a blitz, and coach has been stressing all week that the ball should come out quick because they like to throw a lot of quick routes, and I just jumped it, and I actually caught one and took it to the house.
That looked pretty sweet. We saw when you ran that back, Coach Phillips and Tony Romo were kind of high-fiving on the sidelines like they knew that was coming up. Had there been some talk about that play was there to be found?
A lot of guys said that they were reading it. They said, hey, this is going to be a pick. They didn't know it was going to be to the house, but, it ended up going to the house, and everybody was satisfied.
Hey, Greg Ellis, you had a couple of sacks today. You got some in-laws in from the big city of Clayton, North Carolina. How about this defense? And I want to hear from Chris and DeMarcus, too, about how you guys shut down the Jets all day long.
Well, we knew going into the game they was going to try to run the ball early, and I felt like our defense stepped up and, kind of kept that under control. Then they went to passing the ball, and we only showed with 3 sacks, but we got a whole lot of pressure on the quarterback today.
Yeah, you sure did get some pressure. DeMarcus and Chris Canty both all day long pushing the pocket. Just talk about what you guys have done all year long to be such a good pass rushing team.
I think it all just starts with just us just being, just around each other all the time, just being able to just play and just being great teammates, and then just going out there and just being aggressive against this team, because we knew they were going to try to run at us like Greg said. And so we knew we had to stop the run.
Yeah, DeMarcus, you did. You had Thomas Jones pegged all day long. And Chris Canty, you had an early sack in this game, too. How about this Dallas defense that now has to take on Brett Favre in Green Bay next? How about this bunch?
Yeah, we have a big challenge ahead of us, but we're going to enjoy this one. We're going to go home and enjoy some turkey. It was a great start to the Thanksgiving for me. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my family and have a good holiday.
Well, congratulations. And Phil, I know what you need to make it official here. Tell them what the significance is of the iron here.
Well, the significance is everybody makes fun of me because I iron my clothes before the games. And so it's a play on words, but you got to be tough to win this award. You guys, you've had a great year. You've been tough. You did it today. And you deserve the trophies and the dessert.
Yeah. Now listen, we got the Iron Chef Award winner. That's the cobbler over there on our left. You're right.
What we got?
And that's my mom's pecan pie. Look at
all right.
Okay, guys.
Let me get some.
Wait, let's see a taste here. A little combo.
Oh.
It's a hungry bunch. We saw it all day long, this Dallas defense. Congratulations, guys. JB, back to you. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone in the studio.
All right, Jim, and right back to you and Phil and the crew out there. Just like a group of hungry guys, the award is kind of nice, but like Coach Cowher did with that sweet potato pie earlier, all gone.
That was your pie, JP. That was your pie.
It's all gone.
I was going to say, that looked like Coach Cowher there at halftime, let me tell you.
But the defense of those guys, well, you know what? Let's talk about that with the highlights. Dan has got it. Let's take us around.
All the highlights were the Dallas Cowboys. And you look at the Dallas Cowboys, Marion Barber had 18 carries, over 100 yards rushing. He goes right up the middle. They blow the Jets defensive line off the ball. He scores a touchdown. And then Dallas kicks off. Leon Washington's normally a great kick returner. He gets stripped of the ball here by Kevin Barnett.